Good evening. My name is Amanda Anger. I am a James Cook University law student. This is an assessment piece for LA1107 Contemporary Practice. I've created a 2 to 2.5 minute vlog presentation focusing on a particular negotiation strategy we have learnt in this course, that is principled negotiation. I will explore and explain briefly the Roger Fisher and William Ury model of principled negotiation from Harvard University. Their seminal work on negotiation entitled Getting to Yes, Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In is especially of interest to me personally as my son has oppositional defiance disorder. I've always said to all teachers and adults engaging with my son to please go for a win-win situation. And as life would have it, this model of negotiation suits the needs of my son and for everyone that may have conflict with the position that they are presented in a real-life situation. Not only will you end up with a wise agreement, but this model intends to also preserve and hopefully improve relationships with those that you are in direct conflict with. It's an impressive goal, isn't it? Then I'll work through an example applying this technique with my boys in a very typical scenario in our home, the stage of many brotherhood conflicts, I'm afraid. I hope you enjoy my vlog. Getting to Yes, Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In is a best-selling 1981 non-fiction book by Roger Fisher and William Ury. Subsequent editions in 1991 and 2011 added Bruce Patton as a co-author. All of the authors were members of the Harvard Negotiation Project. Fisher and Ury focused on the psychology of negotiation in their method, principled negotiation, which attempts to find acceptable solutions by determining which needs are fixed and which are flexible for negotiators. The book became a perennial bestseller. By July 1998, it had been appearing for more than 3 years on the Business Week bestseller book list. As of December 2007, it was still making appearances on the list as one of the longest running bestsellers in paperback business books. As of 2022, Ury asserted on his website that 15 million copies of the book had been sold and that it had been translated into more than 35 languages. Let's have a look at the 4 key methods associated with this model. These principles are summarised by Nicole Cutts as follows. Separate the people from the problem. Because people tend to become personally involved with the issues and their respective position, they may feel resistance to their position as a personal attack. Separate yourself and your ego from the issues and allow you to address the problem without damaging the relationship. It will also allow you to get a more clear view of the substance of the conflict. The second, to focus on interests and not positions. When a problem is defined in terms of the parties' underlying interests, it is often possible to find a solution which satisfies both parties' interests. Thirdly, invent options for mutual gain. There are ways that you can overcome the obstacles and generate some creative options. Finally, to insist on using objective criteria upon which to base the agreement. When interests are directly opposed, the parties should use objective criteria to resolve their differences. Allowing differences to spark a battle of egos, and thus wills, is inefficient, destroys relationships, and is unlikely to produce a wise agreement. The remedy is to negotiate a solution based on objective criteria, independent of the will of either side. Frame each issue as a joint search for an object criteria. Ask for the reasoning behind the other party's suggestions. Reason as to which standards are most appropriate and how they should be applied. And remember to keep an open mind. Never ever yield to pressure, threats, or bribes, only to those principles which are important to you. When the other party stubbornly refuses to be reasonable, shift the discussion from a search for a substantive criteria to a search for a procedural criteria. Let's have a look at this model in action, shall we?
Can I have the remote now?
No, I'm not giving you the remote.
Why not?
Well, because I have it, I get to watch what I want to watch.
Well, why can't I have the remote then?
Well, just go and watch your phone if you want to.
Why do I have to go watch my phone? I don't want to. I want to watch TV.
Well, go on. Go cry to Mum. Let her hear all your problems.
Now, here's why teaching principled negotiations is so important. Baxter and Torren need to negotiate an agreement without one just giving in. These brothers have an ongoing relationship, so how they reach this outcome should be fair and doesn't fall to a win-lose situation for either of the boys. The boys are currently seeing themselves in a positional bargaining paradigm. That is, whoever gets this darn remote wins this situation. Let's get to a positive outcome for both the boys. Let's work through these 4 steps.
Torren, can I please watch TV? I feel like I'm being attacked.
I want to watch TV with you too, Baxter. I'm sorry. Hope we can work this out.
Well, I want to watch this TV.
Well, I want to watch this TV too, Baxter.
Why don't we find something that we can both watch together then? Well, I've made a list.
I have also made a list, Baxter. How about you go first?
Sure. I would like to watch Andrew Tate motivational clips and play Rainbow Six Siege with my friends on the Xbox.
Well, I want to watch Breaking Bad, and I also want to play the Xbox.
Okay, so they've removed their egos and they've stated their interests. What did you hear that they had in common? Let's have a look. They both wanted to play the Xbox. Well, we aren't quite there yet. We need to refine, but we are getting there now, aren't we?
In the Xbox, I would like to play Rainbow Six Siege as well, but I don't want to play with your friends.
Okay, well, how about you and me just play a game with just each other then?
Sounds great.
Cool.
Well done, boys. And I would encourage you to remember to think about the big picture and be rational and reasonable in your negotiation, applying the principles of people, interest, options, and criteria set forth in this model. The authors call it a straightforward, universally applicable method for negotiating personal and professional disputes without getting taken and without getting angry. Inexperienced negotiators tend to assume they have a choice between 2 main strategies: negotiate in a tough, demanding manner or in a friendly, accommodating manner. In fact, there is a better way, one that doesn't rely on toughness or accommodation, and you will still meet your negotiation goals. It's Principled Negotiation by Fisher and Urey. I hope you enjoyed my son's role-playing how to use this model, and may it have influenced you personally in applying your future patterns of negotiations. Thank you.